back to the News from the Real World podcast. I'm Quinn.
I'm Jess.
I'm Jody.
And you're going to start off this segment with dealing with an emergency. This is something you may have to deal with.
No, this is something I may have to deal with. All right, so this article is an editor pick called Stuff to Ponder, What is the Definition of an Emergency? It's from Butts in the Seats by Joe Patty. And basically it was about this guy talking about, so we're all aware of the bitterly cold and absurdly extreme weather that we are facing. And, you know, Pittsburgh is not the only one.
Yeah.
So this article was about how when there are school cancellations, should there be show cancellations? Like, what constitutes an emergency? And I'll be honest, I was really disappointed in this article because I read the title and expected it to be about defining an emergency, you know, when do we cancel a show? You know, is it when there are not enough actors because due to illness or, you know, death in the family, that kind of emergency? When are you held accountable to ticket holders and a board? And when do the pros outweigh the cons? I wanted there to be like a little map so that I wouldn't have to think about it anymore. I wanted there to be, a formula.
It's really difficult to cancel a show just because the overhead is such.
I wanted there to be a formula and have it done for me.
The interesting about this though is he works for a university, so not only is it when does the theater shut down, they're also on a university campus. So when the university shuts down, do we shut down? If the university is open, do we stay open even if patrons won't come? And that whole toss up, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, you know, where I'm from, everything shuts down. Everything, I mean...
You're also from the South.
I'm from the South. Everything shuts down.
Nobody wants to drive.
But I remember... No, but it has to do with the buses, too. Like, because Atlanta's very... People don't know this, but Atlanta's very hilly. And so to have a school bus, whether it's slippery or... I mean, if it's a mildly slippery to have a school bus going down a hill, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Like the hilliest city here,
yeah,
nobody cares.
Yeah, this is a hilly city, too, and nobody cares. That's what surprises me.
Well, I mean, really, it's
Northeasterners are much more used to it.
We're equipped to handle it, whereas the South may
Southerners
not be.
are very scared to
it's
drive
such a
in
rare
the
thing,
snow.
though. Like, my brother just moved to North Carolina, and they get, like, a dusting of snow.
Exactly, they shut it down.
School is canceled, everything's shut down, people freak out. My brother's
like
there's an inch of snow on the ground. Like, what is wrong with you people? Around, you know, I went to undergrad in Buffalo, like 3 feet of snow overnight, like whoop-de-doo, you still have to go to class in the morning.
Yep.
Like, no big deal.
So, but I think there's something to be said for if Department of Transportation gets involved and if roads are closed and if counties are closing schools, you know, is it the call of the theater? I guess it depends on where you are. If you're in the woods and not accessible, you know, the decision maybe is made for you. But if you're in a city where there's public transportation and there's, you know, parking, I mean, I don't know. What sorts of things... Is the theater responsible for salting, like, within 6 blocks of where they are? I don't know.
I mean, that gets all into the technical of, is the theater owned by the county? Is it on county land? Is it on state land? All that stuff. Because then the county is held accountable. Except... I just completely lost my train of thought.
Well, that's right. Who are we renting from? Might not be from a county. Might be from a private gallery owner or a private owner who we're renting from. Might not be our call. Might be their call.
Well, there you have it. Moving right along. This is an editor pick from The New Yorker by Michael Schulman, entitled Meryl Streep's Feminist Tribute to Emma Thompson. Basically, the title's a little misleading. This article is kind of a puff piece about how Meryl Streep adores Emma Thompson, and you get it, of course. And basically, Emma Thompson won Best Actress from the National Board of Review, and I guess at their ceremony, whoever they want, other artists can present them with the award, and so Meryl Streep presented Emma Thompson with the award, and did a very charming speech, and in which she called out Walt Disney as an anti-Semite
it's true though.
Chauvinist pig.
It's kind of true. People are so crazy. I'm calling you out, Tim Sutter, about Disney, like loving Disney, and I think that they've done some great things, but in my heart, I'm not a Disney fan, and it has to do with the dude and he's anti-Semite and a racist.
Let's be fair to those
no
people.
one remembers Song of the South.
Those people.
Zippity doo dah.
Locked in the vault forever.
Forever. I know a guy.
I saw it when I was a kid. It was still around when I was a kid.
We had it when I was a kid.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's still available.
Anyway, so Meryl Streep loves Emma Thompson and did this very cool speech to her, and in which they talk a little bit about casting at their age and the parts that they're getting. And Thompson concluded her speech by saying, "I've taken off my heels as a feminist statement, really, because why do we wear them? They're so painful." She added, "I'm so comfortable now." So there you go. There were no comments. Nobody cared. CMU, you're letting us down.
Where was Eleanor when
break?
you
Where's Eleanor when you needed her? But this article was less to me about, like you said, was less to me about feminism and more to me about a friend acknowledging the work of another friend. And, who doesn't like to be acknowledged? And wouldn't it feel good to be acknowledged by Meryl Streep?
Sure.
Just saying.
I would argue.
On the other foot, it's finally Meryl Streep's not being honored. Someone else is. Did anybody see Saving Mr. Banks, by the way?
I haven't seen it yet. I do intend to see it, but
you're a huge Disney nut.
I'm not a huge Disney nut, though. That's just it.
You take the Disney articles.
I don't always take the Disney articles.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
Oh,
you do.
okay, maybe
it
it happens, but I'm not. It does just kind of happen that way. It has more to do with my lack of interest in reading and less to do with my interest in Disney.
Boners watches
that
this.
on camera.
Eleanor, edit that out. Moving on. The little gadget. You got the gadget article this week. I always like the gadget articles.
Stole the gadget article. So this is called Swatchmeet Cube Lets You Capture and Reproduce Colors. It's a student pick from Gizmag.com by Ben Coxworth. Basically, it's this little cube, and I guess in the video it looked like it was about yay tall, yay wide, a little thing. And basically, you stick it on something that you like the color of, and you push down on this button, and it captures the color. But it's supposed to be revolutionary because all the way it reflects lights, and there's a sphere in the little Disney, and it bounces all the color, so it accurately records the color better than any other device out there.
And it can record up to 20.
Up to 20 on the device, and it also can sync to your computer or to your phone or to your tablet.
Exactly.
And so you can have all these things, and so all these digital artists who are using digital media can pick their colors from real objects and then have them on their computer or on their tablet.
And in the video they show somebody, oh look at this leaf on this tree. That's the color I want for my living room.
I know, it's funny, the leaf is this big, the cube is the leaf.
Yeah.
How do you, okay, but I'm confused a little about how that happens without white balance. But just because this leaf looks this color in this
Don't
light.
question it, Jody.
Okay.
No, she has a really good point, and I should say the cube doesn't capture the way you perceive the color. The cube captures the actual color because you put it down and create a seal. All of that light reflects in that sphere, so it's recording what the actual color is, not the shadow on the color making it a darker green.
Right. Yeah. It's measuring the hue. It's measuring the amount of color.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's all really subjective too. It's what this cube is processing may not be exactly the color that's there, and then it gives you the color code for the paint for common paint brands for Benjamin Moore. Oh, I like this color. Let's go buy this color paint.
So,
right.
but it's
only as close as the computer program can match it. It's not the exact color.
That's true.
So that's my as a consumer, ever my problem. How much is this device? Is it a promotion of Benjamin Moore to be oh, now you can have this, so you can buy our number 0004.
This is a Kickstarter campaign it started as. So it's an individual thing that I think he was an artist or someone who knew artists and worked with them a lot, created this thing for that purpose, to be able to transfer all these colors into digital media. But Jess Bergson brings up a good point in her comment of, I do appreciate the idea of being able to determine the exact color of something that's not on a computer. However, I do not see people carrying this cube with them, and I think it would end up being a waste of purchase for most people. Because, I mean, really, are you going to carry this?
I think it depends on what your
cube
job
in your bag?
is, right? If you...
Well, maybe.
I hate to say it. If you work for Disney and your job is to maintain... I know, if
You're an animator for Disney?
No, if you're an animator for Disney, I was actually thinking about the parks. If you work at the parks and your job is to make sure everything looks pristine and clean and there's a chip and you need to know first of all, they have all that shit documented. But, I mean, you know what I mean? If that is your job, if you're an interior designer for some really prestigious company or firm, or if you're into fashion, you work for Ralph Lauren, or if it's for a highly specialized skill.
But you just named a bunch of different different fields.
Or what if,
I think it's cool.
what if you work for one of those insurance companies that you only see in movies? You know, that you have to like insure paintings and stuff that are stolen from museums. You know, stuff like that.
You're done.
That ends this segment of the News from the Real World podcast. I'm Quinn.
I'm Jess.
I'm Jody.
Join us for segment 3 and Jody's many
wonderful qualities.
Tangents.
Oh.
There were no comments for Meryl Streep, Emma Thompson.
There were no comments for the Actors Equity.
Everybody's getting a little lazy coming back from the break.